Welcome to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, presented, of course, by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. And we've got the coaches from Camdenton with us this week, Stacey, Caffey, girls coach, and Steve Sanders, coach of the men. Thank you guys for making the trip. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having us.
Midway through the season, so the guys right now going into this week are 2-6. The ladies 2-10, so a struggle so far for both of you guys. I think we've got two of the Camdenton men games coming up the next couple of Tuesday nights, so that'll be fun, Waynesville and West Plains. You sent us some pictures, some team building, team bonding pictures over the holidays. Looks like you guys had a fun holiday.
We did. We played at the pink and white, but then we always try to do a little bit of extra too. Winning 2 games this season. It's kind of like just doing a little extra to keep our mindset positive and just stay with a positive vibe.
You might do that more than any other coach that I've seen. Just kind of do the extracurricular things, the kind of family kind of things that really makes it a fun thing for your team.
You know, basketball season's a long season, and I feel like players are not wanting to play basketball as much as what they were. You know, the attendance is not there like it was years ago. And it's kind of like, what more can basketball give? You know, basketball goes through Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, and now it's also going through our spring break because our spring break's so early.
Wow.
And so that's 3 large breaks that our athletes are having to be committed through, and it's a lot to ask. So I always just try to make it more than just about basketball.
Yeah, that's cool. And you can see that in the girls. There's really a team feeling there. Like TV, we have done 2 of your games this season. I think the Eldon game and the Osage game, both really close games, tight, and one went down to the buzzer. You lose that one. The other one kind of dropped off in the fourth quarter. Is it tough to lose those close games?
Yeah.
That kind of stinks, right?
I'm pretty sure I took the next day off. I think I was up all night. I tell my kids, I don't know how you pull an all-nighter, and that's what can get me to pull an all-nighter is games like that. Just not finishing a ball game, you know, and I don't know. I almost think the ones that where you're competitive and you're in the ball game and you lose by 1, and by being up and then losing at the buzzer is 10 times harder than losing a game by 20.
Yeah, I can imagine. It really works on you. And if you're a coach, it's like, all right, well, maybe I could have done that or I could have done that. I mean, you can always second guess everything, I guess. That's kind of a tough. And we did your guys' game against Salem. That might have been the highest and lowest point of your season so far, because the game before Salem, you went on the road. You beat a really good Marshfield team. I mean, beat them up. And then you come back and lose to a really good Salem team, but just kind of a high and a low thing there.
Yeah, we talked about that going into the Salem game. I didn't want us to, feel like we were too high on the Marshfield win. And I thought we needed to show up and be ready to compete, because we're all guilty of kind of looking ahead at times. And, we had the blue and gold coming up after that in a big game against Willard. So really tried to get the kids to stay focused on that. And I'm not saying that they didn't. It's a one-possession game, and we talk to them about it all the time. There's so many things throughout the game that influences that ending outcome. And when it comes down to it, we just didn't get the job done to win that game.
Yeah, that was a good game, though. It was a good one to do on TV. So we're talking with the coaches of the Camdenton Lakers on the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show. We'll have more right after this.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal. Buckle up.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. It's a new year, and I hope for your resolution, you've got great sleep on your list. And we can help you out in every facet. We have sleep systems, pillows, sheets, the whole 9 yards, and they're all on sale at Slumberland Furniture. We even do 0% financing for up to 60 months. That's right, great deals and awesome financing. Come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show, talking hoops with the Camdenton Lakers coaches, Coach Steve Sanders, Coach Stacey Caffey. Coach Sanders, your first year head coach at Camdenton. Are you pleased with how the system is going in there so far? I mean, the first year is always tough. You know, you bring a new system, a new philosophy and everything. How's it going, the laying that in?
Well, you know, obviously we wish we'd win more games at this point, but I feel like we've been really competitive in every game.
Yeah.
Willard got a little bit out of hand at the blue and gold, but we've been really competitive. Nearly every game we've been down at some point, and I feel like our kids have really battled back. From what I'm told from some of the other coaches and some of the community members, that hasn't always been the case. So to see our kids show up and believe in what we're trying to achieve and just never quitting is something that we're taking a lot of pride in. Our saying for this year is compete. We want to compete in whatever we do, no matter what the score is, whether it be, you know, outside of school, in the classroom, on the basketball court. We want to make these guys competitors. I feel like we're getting there. Of course, I want to get there quicker than it's probably reasonable, but super proud of the kids and the way that they bought into what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an interesting thing at Camdenton with basketball. I mean, there's such a rich history in football, right? I mean, 5 state championships over the years and stuff. And the basketball tradition has never been there at Camdenton for some reason. Is that something you can, you know, build over a few years, try to build a tradition like basketball? Is that like what you're trying to do there?
I think you can start to build it in a few years.
Yeah.
I don't know that it can be fully built in just a few years. You know, I think it takes a long process. It takes a lot of commitment from not just kids, but from parents and, you know, everybody involved.
That's a good point. The parents are a big part of high school sports. If the parents aren't buying in and helping and jumping in, it's going to be problematic. Or if they're causing problems, it's going to be. But if they're a positive influence and really a strength to the program, that can make a huge difference, right? Okay, so the gals that have stepped up and played good for you so far, who are you most proud of this season?
I would say, you know, we lean heavily on Kinsey Vavruska. She's a junior, but she's just an all-around great player. She's a great kid. She goes hard in practice. Very rarely she subs herself out, you know, and so she's doing as expected. Teams are chasing her, and she's getting the full attention from every team that we play. And outside of that, I feel like, you know, I mean, she's had multiple games where she's had double-double with points and assists. I remember one game she had 15 points and 12 assists. And,
wow.
And I know that in her mind, she loves the 25-plus points, you know, and she does that consistently. But even those games where she's throwing out 12 assists and 15 points, I believe that was the Smith-Cotton game, you know, and she's just a strong overall player. So I would say definitely she's kind of been our key player. And then I really feel like, you know, Chloe stepped up. You got Maddie Franklin, who has had a couple strong games. Addison had a big game or two, you know. And then Madison Sikora, she's always working hard on the boards. She might not be one that's going to go put in 20 points, but she's very quiet and gets those 10 and 12 rebounds a game.
Absolutely.
So we're just looking to put it all together.
We did a game, I think it was the Eldon game, where Vavruska had like 26.
Yes.
You know, and then your daughter, Chloe Caffey, had 13 like in a quarter against Osage.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, you do have your people that kind of step up and come through. And every game we've done, Lake TV's done, Madison Sikora has always stepped up and scored and rebounded and everything. How about the guys that have stepped forward for you that you're most proud of so far?
Well, I mean, it's no secret that we rely pretty heavily on Alan Pogue to do a lot for us, and we kind of go as he goes. And he's done a great job with that. You know, he'll come and talk to me about some things that maybe he's seeing on the floor that he feels like he can do differently. He does a really good job of trying to stay in the role that we've assigned to him, almost to the point where he kind of, I feel like he almost feels restrained a little bit, and that's certainly not what we want. But he's doing a great job. And his brother Aiden has made some big shots down the stretch for us and in big moments. Then you got Brady Rapp's having a good season for us as a senior. And then Michael Machino and Bryce Branson kind of round out our starters. And realistically, we rely heavily on those 5 guys a lot. We got a rotation of about 8 kids or so, but all 5 of those guys play a lot of minutes for us, and they all serve a specific role that we need them out there for.
Yeah, you just need to make sure the Pogue kids don't move out of town, because we had like the Ingold kids a couple years ago. They moved, right?
That's what I heard.
Hey, stay in town, start playing some hoops
here.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that. Their family loves basketball, and I think they also love Camdenton.
There you go. Well, who wouldn't, right? What areas has your team improved the most so far? From back when you guys started getting, the practices going to now? Most improvement?
I really think it's just our mindset that we can compete in games that other people may not give us a chance for, or on paper it looks like we may not be able to compete. And I tell them all the time, it doesn't matter what the people outside of this room think. It's all about what we believe and we can accomplish. And I really feel like they've done a great job of buying into that.
Yeah, that head thing's important. I mean, in sports, I don't know, I did a quote a few days ago, one of the great coaches saying, intelligence trumps talent every time, right? And that mind frame thing. How about the growth for your team? What are you most proud of? Where have you grown the most?
I would say on paper, it would probably be the turnovers.
Okay.
Even though I feel like we're still making some key turnovers at some key moments of the ball game. There was games that we were upper 20s, low 30s in turnovers. And you're not going to win ball games doing that. Teams were getting double our possession. And so we talked about really limiting other teams' possession and our focus of getting more rebounds and then taking care of the ball, where we're not just giving the other team free opportunity to score more, and so I feel like that would be our biggest growth. And again, I think our confidence is growing. Like we were talking earlier, each one of those 5, I see Addison. I'm waiting for that game for her, because she is a double 20+ type of player, and I think the more confidence she continues to build each game, it's coming. And so we always say all these games right now is for postseason. It's just practice for postseason.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our focus. Like, yes, we're 2-10, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on what we can be and what we're going to be at the end of the season.
Absolutely. And that's one of the beauties about Missouri high school sports, the way they set up playoffs. Everybody has a shot, which is kind of cool. That doesn't happen in every state.
Right.
So we'll continue to talk some high school basketball with the coaches from the Camdenton Lakers when we come back on the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with LakeExpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
For our Lake area teams, they've got their eye on the prize this season with big aspirations.
And basketball can be similar to driving, where sometimes it can be a matter of focus and attention.
Distracted driving led to over 25 fatal crashes on Missouri roadways in 2024 alone.
So be a part of the solution and not another statistic.
Always remember to buckle up and put your phones down. This reminder to drive safe, boat safe, brought to you by Price & Randall, injury attorneys.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show. Talking hoops with the Camdenton Lakers, Coach Steve Sanders of the men, Stacey Caffey of the women. Okay, so your districts this year, you both have 8-team districts, I think. And looking at the ladies' district, Jeff City on top right now. I think it's 7-6. Pacific 6-7. Lebanon 6-8. You've also got Cap City, Helias, Washington, and Union in there. There's a whole lot of teams in there. But it doesn't look like anybody is running away and hiding at this point. So it might be an interesting district tournament.
It definitely can be. And that's why our focus right now is that's our goal. Like, our girls know that we can compete in districts, and it's, I think at one point the Jeff City score was 19-2. In our game. And yes, they came back and beat us, but our girls know that they can play with them, you know, and so knowing that that's probably your top seed and then, or one of the top seeds, because Helias is going to be in there. And we have a chance to play Helias probably before the seeding meeting. So we could actually kind of put our foot in there. And even though if you go by solely for record, yeah, we would be at the bottom. But I think with you, when you go for the power of schedule and the strength of schedule, it really puts our girls up there. And the teams that, even beating, Smith Cotton or Marshall, those teams were actually some common opponents, And so I think our girls see like, hey, we can do this. We're not giving up. So.
Yeah, and that, again, back to that, the head thing is pretty important. For the men's district, you got 8 teams as well. Let's see, Union on top right now, 8-3, Washington 6-6, Cap City 5-6. You also got Helias, Jeff City, Lebanon, and Father Tolton in there. How's your district stacking up so far?
Kind of going in, I thought some of those teams with a better record may have a little bit worse records.
Right.
But, I just kind of the same mindset, we've got to control what we can control going into districts or any game really, and just go out there and put our best product on the floor and then just kind of whatever happens from there happens. But, again, we're all about our mindset and when we can compete with people. And I see it improving all the time, and hopefully when we get to districts, we're bought in and we're playing our best basketball and we're able to make a little run.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to know about, at least for me, Union and Washington, because they're not close. I don't know who they play or how they play. They've got a pretty decent record going in. I'm a little surprised at Father Tolton being down, because usually they're like a state powerhouse.
Right, yeah.
And so this year must just be a down year for them. Either that or they're playing a lot of out-of-state teams.
Yeah, I think with them, it is a down year for them. I think they had some kids transfer out, just from what I've been told. With me being my first year, I'm not really close with all the coaches in the area, but it seems like there's definitely something going on there. But we also know that they're just as capable as anybody else of playing good basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're down to our last minute here, but you mentioned earlier about your schedule. You guys both play a really tough schedule. You go down to Arkansas, play like state champions and stuff like that there. You both play in the blue and gold, and I think it's the pink and white and stuff like that. Is it worth it to play really, really good teams and lose as the season goes on to get that experience?
I would say that there's a fine line.
Yeah.
And I think we're pushing it, with our schedule right now, because our non-con's really tough. I mean, we played Rogersville in the pink and white. They're state ranked. We play Marshfield as a non-con. They're state ranked.
Yeah.
They're state ranked number 1 in class 4, or class 5. So I think there is a fine line with it, but at the same time, I feel like it gets you ready for the postseason. It can also, because it's a faster pace, it's a stronger mindset, and when you play those games, it's a different type of ball, you know. And so I feel like it gets you ready too at the same time. But
at least
I feel
you
like
hope anyway.
Yes, and I do feel like there's got to be an equal within your schedule.
Yeah.
And right now I don't feel like we have that on our schedule. And it's kind of the same thing with like home and away games where, we just have 6 home games and then the rest are all away. And so I feel like there's a lot of things that in scheduling can happen, and that's part of it is that, yes, I think you want to play some of those teams, but I don't think you want to put your schedule at 70% of them.
Right,
You know?
which you kind of have right now, which makes it kind of tough. All right, we'll get that answer from you next month when we have you on the Coaches Show. So thank you guys very much. Look forward to doing your games this week. Camdenton at home against Waynesville and West Plains. Thank you for joining us for the COMC High School Basketball Coaches Show.
You're watching Lake TV.